Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Stephanie Bree. It's been a while since I've done a video. Today I want to talk about professional wrestling. I want to talk about my experiences with it and just in general. So it started back in the 80s. I was a kid and I started watching with my cousins. We watched WWF as it was known then. And obviously we watched Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage and Sergeant Slaughter and people like that. And it was all about the colorful characters, you know. The matches didn't matter as much, although you wanted a good match. It was really about the characters for me. And then in the 90s I got into WCW when the New World Order started. I started watching that instead of WWE. And I got into the heel turn, Hulk Hogan's heel turn, Hollywood Hogan, and I followed that for a while. I didn't care for the Attitude Era, as it was known, but I was really into me and my high school buddies were really into the WCW stuff for a while. And then Stone Cold came on the scene and changed everything. That's when the Attitude Era really began. And everyone was sort of flipping back and forth between the two. I didn't care for the Attitude Era stuff. I'm asexual, so it was a little too much for me. So I stopped watching for the longest time. I lost interest in it. And then a few years ago, I was working at a newspaper. I was a journalist at a newspaper. And this professional wrestler came in. And I built a relationship with him. I did a couple stories on him. And he was big in the 80s, but he wasn't popular anymore. He just gotten out of prison for some DUI stuff. His name was Sam Houston. And his brother's Jake the Snake. So he really liked me. He took a liking to me. So he and I became friends, and I did some projects for him. I helped him with a music video and some other stuff. And as a reward, as a thank you for being a good friend and helping him out, he took me on a road trip to go see the Wrestling Hall of Fame, the Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame in Wichita Falls, Texas. And so I got to meet some people there, and I got to take pictures, and it was a lot of fun. And so that got me back into wrestling. I signed up for WWE Network, and I started going back to the archives, digging through the old matches that I remembered from my childhood. And then I started watching the old episodes of Monday Night Raw because I wanted to see how it evolved over the years. Then I discovered a show on Netflix called Glow, and that kind of gave me a new appreciation for wrestling as an art form and as a form of entertainment, storytelling. That's when I really started to understand how the storytelling works. And then I started watching Friday Night SmackDown, and I started paying attention to see if I could follow the storylines. And I was actually able to follow the storylines for the first time. It wasn't just a bunch of noise. So it finally started to make sense to me. And then I moved in to a house with a former professional wrestler. I lived with her for about 6 months. And she really was obsessed with wrestling. She watched everything from Impact to WWE to Ring of Honor. She watched everything. So she really, gave me a lot of the ins and outs of how it works. And so I got into wrestling even more. And so the last couple of years, I've been watching a lot of WWE and AEW. And I'm starting to enjoy it again. So that's just my little video on professional wrestling. I don't have insights into the commentary or anything like that. I don't analyze the fights. I just watch and enjoy. I root for the characters I root for, and I boo the characters that I don't like. And that's how I became a wrestling fan. Thanks for watching.